What's up? Hi. We're gonna discuss the 12th house. Like, I've been trying to make this video. I made this video about, I think, 2 times or something right now, but it's just not working out. So I said, let me just go live instead. And then I could just go right on there and we can discuss all this kind of stuff. And then the video could be saved and I don't have any more issues. All right, so I want to talk about the 12th house and what we need to let go of. Now, please feel free to drop your 12th house in the comments below. What's going on, y'all? Hi. I'm gonna do it live. You know, we gotta make it live. It is what it is. Blessings. What's up? Hi, y'all. I'm excited because we gotta get more into the 12th house anyway. We gotta discuss stuff. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me let my astro community know. Ooh. We're gonna talk about the 12th house. We're gonna talk about what we need to let go of. Yes, Barbados. I love Barbados. I've been there a lot of times. Yes. And if you don't have planets in the 12th house, that's fine. You're gonna still have this energy in the 12th house, right? So it doesn't matter. I'm on my YouTube live, y'all. So come on the YouTube live if you want to come and see this video. I'm on my Naturally Lit on YouTube doing the thing. I want to let you guys know. So come on through. We're about to discuss the 12th house, so meet me over there. Hi, y'all. I wanted the video to be clean and not me talking and all this other extra shit, but it just wouldn't let me do it. So here we are. All right, come on over. I know, Ram. What's up? I've been studying, keeping low key. You know, so the 12th house, right? We're gonna talk about the energy of the 12th house. So the 12th house encapsulates Pisces type of energy, and Pisces can be anything. It is the chameleon, okay? It can transform into whatever it wants to be. It is impacted and influenced by all of the energies around it, because Pisces rules our oceans. It rules the water in our body. We have 75% water in our body. That has a lot to do with, you know, what we feel, how we navigate through this world on a larger platform, right? So that the 12th house is the house of dissolving of the ego, self-undoing. It's the house of mystery. It's the house of, you know, God, universe, spirituality, confusion, because you don't know. It's the intangible house, right? Okay, so you see the paint and the pictures and you see my light and all this other stuff, but you cannot see the air that I'm breathing, right? You cannot see right now, like, what is the reflection, how the reflection of the light and the wind and the smells and, you know, the way that we can go back to the past in our mind, and how we can dream of things and come and bring it into reality, right? So the 12th house is dreaming and bringing it to reality. That's why it's your dreams. It's how you rest, how you sleep at night. This is why it also translates into your sexual fantasies and your bed pleasures, because that's what we do in the night. You know what I'm saying? And we do that in our bed. So when we're talking about the 12th house, okay, the 12th house is about our deepest connectivity. It's our ability to have compassion, empathy, or the lack thereof of all these things, right? It's how your relationship with the unexplainable magic of life. It's your relationship with it, whether it's understanding, whether it's confusing, whether it's stabilizing, whether it's invigorating, whether it's depressing. It's your relationship with this space. This is why there's a lot of alone time, isolation, a lot of restful energy when you're having a transit going on in here, or when this is your perfection year, or you're a 12th house person. This is why certain ways of living, okay, certain ways of living for a 12th house person or a 12th house dominant person, this can show up as meaning they have a lot of planets in the 12th house. They have a lot of planets in Pisces. They have a lot of aspects with Neptune. They have a lot, this can also show up as Pisces degrees, okay? Meaning that this is 12 and 24 degrees in your chart. This can also show up as your 12th house planet. Say Libra is ruling your 12th house planet, and your Venus is your most impacted planet. This also makes you a very 12th house driven person. Do you understand? This makes you extremely 12th house driven person. Let me take my bong rip. My bong rip is some water for this discussion. Okay, I'm looking at the comments. All right, so the 12th house is extremely necessary. It's how you fucking recover, bruh. If the 6th house is your health, then the 12th house is how you recover. Even from your day to day, it is your, when you were in the womb of your mother, what was happening at the pregnancy of your mother during that time. That's like if Uranus is there or something like that, something erratic was happening around your pregnancy, whether there was a thunderstorm or a tornado going on because it was out in the physical world, or there could have been some respiratory issues, some nervous system issues that your mother was having right before you were born. Maybe Mars is there, meaning that your ass came out real quick. Like it really wasn't much, unless there's Saturn aspecting it, unless there's Capricorn. Do you understand? So this is why it takes a combination of things for it to be reinforced for you to see. So if you had, Saturn, Mars aspects then into the moon, then your mother had a quick birth, but it was difficult. You know what I'm saying? It was difficult still. It wasn't without hardship. Maybe she got pregnant when she was older, or there was just some issues within her bones, or, just any kind of issues were going on with your mom. So this is why that 12th house is extremely important. Planets that are there, think about it as in labor, or think about it as, the tools that you came into the world with, but they're still in your mother's womb. Okay? So this is essentially what it is. It's almost like you were never separated. This is why when this is trine to your water houses, the 12th, the 8th, and the 4th are trine, meaning they create an easy energy flow, right? There's a certain sacrifice that a mother gives, 4th house to the 12th house. There's a lot of investment and a lot of debt that comes with having children and having a family that's trining the 8th house of debt. Do you see how it all comes together? And there has to be a sense of compassion and forgiveness. And also within the family space, we don't have good boundaries. Do you understand what I'm saying? We don't give our children the right to say no or the right to say yes. We can be very controlling, which is 8th house energy. Do you see? And very secretive with how we control our children or people in our family, especially through emotional stuff and you see how all that shit be coming together? Like that's how all that shit. And if you see like those 3 houses, the 4th, the 8th, the 12th, that has a lot to tell you with who the fuck you think you are deep down inside, and how you operate, how you forgive yourself, how you give compassion, all of these other things. So if you have Chiron sitting in any of these houses, your family brings you pain. Like you are emotionally, painfully tethered to them until you choose to heal your own emotional wounds first. Okay, that's why Chiron in the 4th, the 8th, the 12th are your emotional wounds, all right? If it's in the other houses, it's something else. Yes, thank you for all the thumbs up. Listen, there's a bunch of people in here. I don't understand how I'll have a thumbs up from every single one of y'all at this point. Like, make it make sense to me. I'm going to let y'all get some water and resonate on that, and I don't understand. Y'all acting like this is regular information, like I'm not telling y'all some real shit. Where's the thumbs up at? Y'all love me so much. Get the information out. Okay, come on now. Like, let's go. Like, all y'all have to do is just click. Thank you. Click. Thank you. Click. All you have to do is, this is energy exchange. Okay, energy exchange here now. She ain't going to be doing this. The least y'all gonna do is tell your family that I'm out here. The least y'all gonna do is let people know that I exist. That's the least y'all gonna do. Okay? It's the least y'all gonna. Thank you. Thank you. Click, 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 click. Click, click, click. The least y'all gonna do. I know there's probably some people on here who are just watching me because y'all weird and y'all want to see what I say. I know already, but I'm talking about the other people. You know what I'm saying? I'll know from the clicks that I don't get how many weirdos are in here just stalking me, being weird, trying to get this information. But go ahead, get your notebook out. Okay, get your notebook. I want to see how many of y'all like frauds. I love it, y'all. Oh my gosh, you just woke up. And this the first thing you're doing? Y'all are cracking me up. I hope you meditate in the morning, get your water popping, you know. Boom. Thank you guys. I love y'all. Thank you for supporting me in my astrological journey. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. I started this shit as a paranoid Scorpio, okay? I was like, please, this shit ain't fuck out of here. You know how skeptical we are. We don't believe shit. We like, whatever, right? Oh yeah, you getting your workout in? Okay, let's do it. Let's talk about it. Okay, I love y'all. Thank you guys so much. Okay, so the 12th house, right? We're talking about letting things go. Now, if transits are coming through here, right? That's information that's gonna help you let shit go. So, you know, if the moon comes in here, emotional stuff needs to be let go. If the Mercury comes here, something about your mind has to shift. If Mars comes here, your actions need to change. If Saturn comes here, the way that you approach your life needs to change. Overall needs to change. You hear what I'm saying? Venus is here. You need to change your relationship with self-worth. You know, if the sun comes here, you need to change your relationship with yourself, period. Just you as a whole needs to change, you know, on a deeper level. Your ego, the way that you see yourself has to change. If Jupiter comes here, you know, your wisdom gets deeper, all right? Your wisdom gets so much deeper here that you really enlighten at this time. Uranus comes here. You need to let go of the need to resist change. You feel what I'm saying? You need to go with what the fuck ever is happening. All right. If Neptune is in here, you're again becoming extremely spiritual, but you need to definitely let go of some victim mentality. Okay, if Chiron comes here, you need to let go of the pain, let go of the hurt, baby. You need to let go of the motherfucking hurt. Let it go. We need to heal this shit up, wrap it up. Okay, we need to get some motherfucking ointment on this shit, some Neosporin. All right, we need to get some lavender. We need to just period. All right. What else? If Pluto comes in here, something about your psychology needs to change. You know, very deep. This absolutely applies with the degrees, but then you would mix it together with whatever planet it is, if that makes sense, okay? So then what else could transit here? If Lilith is here, there's something about your, you know, the way that you play the villain needs to change. You hear what I'm saying? The way that you just be liking to disrupt shit and just break shit down needs to change. Do you hear what I'm saying? If Ceres is here, the way that you really nurture needs to change. It needs to be something different. So you need to let go of that kind of stuff. And then when it comes out the first house, it's actually seen through you. You know what I'm saying? People see the change. They will physically see the change. All right. So it's really interesting when this transit is, because that's why it's so deep, and that's why you spend a lot of time alone. Okay, that's why you spend a lot of time by yourself in your own thoughts. You know, really resting, and you might be sleeping a lot, you might be crying a lot, you might be angry a lot, you know, because especially when Mars is transiting, you have like all this fucking rage and all this anger, and you're just like, what the fuck, I'm usually not this angry, why am I tripping, you know? But you're not tripping, like you're going through a change. So you're going through a shift, you feel me what I'm saying? North Node, it really depends on the sign, so it's more about the sign, but it's like that's when shit be going down and you're just like, nah, period. Like I have to shift my entire life, you know? And it depends on what aspects it's making to your natal North Node. You hear what I'm saying? So, but there's something in your entire destiny. There's something about your destiny that you're letting go. You hear what I'm saying? You're like, okay, there's something that has to shift overall with North Node. It becomes very karmic, very, very pivotal time in your life. Probably one of those times you'll really remember, because you'll remember, I felt confused, I felt lost, I felt I didn't know shit, I felt like God didn't see me. You know what I'm saying? I felt like, you hear what I mean? Like you could feel that way. You could really feel that way. And this is where like suicidal thoughts can come in. This is where depression can come in. This is where self-harm can come in. And it can be very scary. It can be a very lonely time because you are shifting so much. You know, your whole world changes. The entire world, like everything is like a 180, right? 180. It's a 180 shift, and it's just like, yo, where the fuck am I? You know what I'm saying? And that's just really what it is. It really is. And you need to have whatever that energy is, you need to have that energy around you and the opposite energy around you to help balance it out. You know what I'm saying? So if it's Mercury there, or like if it's air signs, you would need communication. You know, if it's fire, you would need to stay inspired and be active. You know what I'm saying? If it's water, you would need to be in tune with your emotions. And however that shows up. If it's earth, you would need to physically be a part of things. This is going out into nature a lot, hiking a lot, being outside, and just looking at every leaf and just enjoying all of those things, because you really have to just, you know what I'm saying? Just merge and become one with nature. So let me see what the comments are saying. I was just going off on a tangent. We're going to keep going into it. Okay. Hey, y'all. Okay, 12th house, then the first house transit makes sense. Yeah, like hermit mode to the, sun, it's quiet storm before it clears up. Yep, so it's a lot going on with the 12th house. That's why you need to understand the 12th house, especially for you, because it's your intimate space. You know, it's really how it's just your relationship with everything that you can't explain. And I feel like that's why, in my opinion, the 12th house and the 6th house axis are, spiritual and mental health. And then you really got to take care of those things, because when you take care of those things, they affect everything else. You know, the 12th house impacts your 8th and your 4th a lot, and that's your emotional foundation. And your 4th house is the root of who you are. And if that root is not planted, what fruit do you expect to fall from the tree? Like, what fruit do you expect to fall from the tree when your 4th house is not planted right? The seeds are not right. And that's what I try to express to people all the time. I try to express to them, you have to take care of your moon sign. Your moon sign is, without a question, what you need to be on top of. Like, that baby needs to be fulfilled every single day. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. The moon, and that's what's most important in relationships, in synastry overall. Like, you need to understand your moon and your 12th house, and all that stuff, because it has a lot to do with how you rest, learn, create, and then how you recover. And if you don't know how to manage those cycles of who you are, it just becomes not fun. The human experience becomes not fun anymore, and you want it to be fun for you. That's why you have to find your own energetic schedule. That's why it matters to see, what works for you and which season you're in. You know what I'm saying? And each season that you're in, and if you know your chart, then you know which season you're in. So if you have water on the 12th house, okay, the water seasons are very important for you to really be in tune with your 12th house energy. Now, I'm not talking about you have to do this every single day of your life. I'm talking about having a consistent schedule throughout the year, right? That's better than nothing, because timing is still a concept that we all adhere to in ourselves and in how we approach it, right? So what I'm saying is water seasons, right? Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio seasons. It doesn't matter which one you have the 12th house, whatever water sign you have on the, those are the signs that you have to really, those are the seasons you have to be in tune. That means you have to meditate. It means you have to do emotional work. This is where psychotherapy comes in. This is where, resting comes. This is where the seasons of really going inward, introspection, doing a lot of internal emotional work starts coming up for yourself. And this is when you want to actually dive into that and navigate to that. Because when it comes to the earth seasons, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, it's going to semi-sextile the water seasons, and it's going to ground and solidify what you've been doing anyway emotionally. So if you have earth on those, you want to start grounding yourself. You want to start making physical changes. You want to start making realistic changes to what you have worked on emotionally, right? And that's what those grounding seasons are for. So whether this is, doing nature walks, or really just hiking and just, crying outside. Crying outside while you're hiking is the best. Like, take a joint, cry outside, and hike. Only if you want to. We're all grown here. We all do what we want. So it's just you want to really manage what you're emotionally working on, and learn how to manage those things, right? And have goals for them and have results for that, and say that I'm going to go to therapy this many times, and then I'm going to do my other grounding exercises in addition to that, because I know those things can help me do things together. Me just talking to somebody on the phone and then scrolling back on the internet is not going to do anything for me. It's not going to help expand what I have going on, right? So boom. Now, when you have fire there, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo season are very important for you, and you want to stay inspired and be creative. You want to be active in those seasons. It's like you want to really do things and just go out and hang out and do stuff. And you want to go parasailing, and you wanted to take a kickboxing class, do that, but commit to it. I want to take a dance class, commit to it, just do it. Make it happen for yourself. Say, I'm going to do it even if I'm online doing this dance class, or if whatever the case may be. I'm gonna go to my local library and I'm gonna put together a book club, because I need to stay inspired, and I'm a writer, and I need to talk with other people about their ideas and things like that, or whatever the case may be. So that's what you want to do. Then if you have air seasons there, you really want to communicate with people. You don't want to stay by yourself. You want to talk. This is Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. You really want to communicate with people, journal, be more social. And you're like, what? Yeah, but be more social, but just be social with people that you connect with, right? With people that you feel, I guess, a deeper connection with, or sometimes just go with the flow, because remember, 12th house is going with the flow. It's just like chill. You got let God steer the way, right? And so those are the seasons that you, as an air sign, you want to stay connected to people and get back to people, and just have communication and learn something, add something to your knowledge, your book of knowledge. And this is the seasons when you really want to collaborate with people. If that makes sense. All right. Now, the 12th house. Let's talk about the 12th house and what we should let go. This is like a lot of information, right? But y'all staying with me? Are y'all with me or no? Are y'all with me? So, I have the same place, but I'm Scorpio stellium as well. Okay. A lot of things be happening, So, I think you were talking about how the 12th house is your hidden talent and can bring money. Yeah, definitely. I'll do a whole nother video on that. First, you need to let go so you can let in. Right, and a lot of we're in a phase of healing ourselves, so when you have Aries, Chiron Aries, which is the transit that everybody's experiencing, there's a rebranding, a rehaul, there's a new identity, there's a lot of push-pull, there's a lot of negotiating, there's a lot of challenges, fights happening, there's a lot of hot tempers, you know, there's a lot of short-sightedness as well. But there's, you know, what I'm trying to say. And so everybody's going through an Aries moment right now. Wherever Aries is in your chart, Aries is there's a spark right now. There's a need for you to, it's almost like somebody stabbed you right there. You're like, that shit hurts. Who the fuck stabbed me right there? Because Aries rules weapons and knives and things like that, and cuts, bruises. So it's like when you have Chiron and Aries, you know, you feel that. And this is why it's really good. The 12th house comes before the first house. Do you hear what I'm saying? The 12th. So you need to know what's causing the first house's issues anyway. So the 12th house is the pull before hand, right? Like I said, coming out the womb, and you already had life in the womb. So the 12th house, that's why there's life there. Okay? There's life. So now what you need to let go of, as in the 12th house, as with Aries energy there, you need to let go of not protecting yourself. You know, you don't know how to protect yourself in the right way. You know, you can be extremely what is it called, y'all? When you give yourself away all the time. Self-sacrificing. You always sacrifice yourself. You always like feel as if you are not allowed to stand up for yourself in some type of way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's almost like you feel as if you don't deserve your life. It's weird because this makes you a Pisces rising. You hear what I'm saying? And this is why Pisces risings then get into situations that they get into, right? It's not selflessness. It's like, it is self-sacrificing because it is not smart. And this is why Virgo is on the other side for Pisces rising. That's why the people in your life, they teach you how to take care of yourself. You know, they teach you about paying attention to shit. And really understanding that, like, listen, girl, look at his body language. You really think that he's into you? Look at him. Like, really? You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. And the martyr identity. You know what I'm saying? The identity has been lost in the 12th house. So you need to let go of the need to not fucking stand up for yourself. You know, you need to stand up for yourself. Like, that is not okay. You need to defend yourself and fight for yourself, because the thing is that you could have been like a warrior or something in the past life, you know, and, you know, there's just violent death anyway. And so if you have crazy aspects to Mars, you know, it's just wild. That's why you have to take care of that Mars energy. That Mars energy is very, 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 I'm glad you said that, Carly, because that 12th house is suppression, right? It's suppressed energy. And so, yes, you are very repressed. And so you go through these moments where you have, it's fight or flight moments a lot of times in your life, where you just feel as if, like, damn. And so you don't even understand what you're fighting for. You're fighting for yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're fighting for. You're fighting for yourself, and that's good enough. You don't need to fight for everybody. You need to fight for yourself, and that's more than worthy. That's more than okay. That's more than acceptable. You know, that's more than amazing. Like, fight for yourself. Don't feel guilty for standing up for you. You know what I'm saying? Don't feel guilty for that. And that is definitely Mars in the 12th house too, right? You apply this to the planets. And the way that it'll show up, though, that depends on the sign. But there's, for Aries there, that's embedded in their psyche. You know what I'm saying? With Mars there, it affects how they move, you know, strategically in life. They don't trust themselves. There's a lack of trust within yourself when you have Mars and Aries here, you know, and you don't feel like you're, like you do too much for everybody else. So now if you have Taurus here or Venus, right? So when you have Taurus and Venus here, you have a poverty mindset. Okay? You are so scared to be broke. And I'm putting it in quotes because nobody's broken. Do you hear what I'm saying? Nobody's broken. Your money's just, your money's in circulation, boo. We all pay each other's bills anyway. That's really how this shit works. That's why I don't understand why people be like, ooh, I got more than you. I don't get. Listen, more people just pay your bills. That's it. Just more people are just paying your bills, and you can get more shit because more people want to invest in you. Don't get it twisted. It's more people investing in your talent, in your time, in your knowledge, in your expertise, whatever the case may be. That's all that it is. My money is circulating in this bitch. Listen, my money is going to be back about next week. Don't even worry about it. We're going to be out next week. But have fun this weekend. I'm going to be looking on your thing. Don't even trip. I will be looking. I'm going to be, I can't wait to see your outfits. But I'm going to be out with you in about a month or two. Whatever my timeline feels. Because that's my reality and this is where I'm at right now. You hear what I'm saying? And so this is with Taurus here. You have to, because you have this relationship with possessions. It could be people, places, or things, you know what I'm saying? But you have this relationship with things, like you have this hoarder mentality. It's kind of like, hedonistic kind of, oh, I need more. It's gorging, it's overindulging, taking in too much, and you don't know when to stop. This is why the 12th house, you can also become extremely wealthy with Taurus here. Do you understand what I'm saying? But you need to, listen, spirit gonna come take that. You hear what I'm saying? you spirit gonna come take that from you. I'm telling you, with some kind of transit, and it's not always guaranteed because everyone's chart is different, and some people just go throughout life. But there's gonna be something with your self-esteem that will be fucked with, or your values and your, you know what I'm saying, will be fucked with at some point in time. Let me tell you, because the thing is, you feel like there's not enough for some reason, and that's where that poverty mindset comes in with the Taurus there, and that's why you're resistant to change. You're resistant to doing new things and seeing things in a new way, living a new way, whatever the case may be. Like, you want what you want when you want it, whatever, but you feel like you need more. You feel like you always need more, you know what I'm saying? Thank you, guys. You feel like you always need more. Hi to all the new people in here. What's up, y'all? We're talking about the 12th house, okay, and what we need to let go of in the 12th house and how that energy plays out. Because remember, the 12th house is your self-undoing. So this is where loss comes in. Great loss comes in. And this is where, then confusion. And then after you're confused, bitch, what you be doing? Drinking, drugging, having too much sex, going to the gym every day, spending too much motherfucking money, doing too much for your goddamn family, never sleeping, never resting, never taking care of your body, or depending way too much on spirit and God to do everything for you, and you don't do it. It becomes way too many things. You know what I'm saying? It becomes all these things, and you're just like, bruh. And then you feel as if everything is gone, and that's where that lost energy comes in. But also, that's why it is what you make it. So this is Taurus here, right? Is big about what they own and ownership. So you need to make sure you have a malleable relationship with ownership and people, places, and things. You need to really have a different relationship with that, okay, in mind. Let go of trying to hold on to everything. Whether you're emotionally hoarding or physically hoarding things, or whatever that means, psychologically hoarding things, don't feel like, oh, you're gonna win every time. I don't care what you think. That 12th house don't play, baby. Especially when that I'm telling you, it's Venus, and Venus transits are happening all the time. So Venus transits and heavy Venus transits are happening all the time. And I'm telling you, if you have Venus in your first house and you have a Taurus there, please, Venus there, you have Saturn there, you have a transit from Pluto, child, your whole life is changing. Your whole shit is changed up. You're just like, oh my God. Like, you might have been married, and then all of a sudden you're not married anymore, and you lose everything, and now you're in debt. Like, let me tell you, because you slipped up. Because you thought you could change your relationship with how you see stuff, and this is change your relationship with that, okay? whether it's your friends, whether it's your family, you have to change it. So let me tell you right now. Okay, let's move on. Gemini in the 12th house, or Mercury there, right? It could be similar energy, shows up different. I want, like, okay, so if the cusp, okay, I always explain it like this. Your natal chart is like a pizza pie. The pizza pie has 12 slices. The 12 slices each represent a theme in your life, right? Area of your life. It's like almost like a video game. It has a crust on the outside. The crust on the outside dictates the flavor of you know, or the land of the video game. So if you're thinking about it like pizza, you know, you have the slice and you have different toppings. So whatever planets are there are the different toppings. Those are the different toppings that you're paying attention to, and maybe those are your favorite toppings, or maybe you don't like that topping at all, like you're avoiding it. But it's still pizza pie. You know what I'm saying? It's still there, the whole thing, right? So the crust will, even if you think about it like a club, like there's 12 different clubs. That's the door that opens the door to the club. So that's the club that dictates the energy, the vibe, like how you gonna dress, how you gonna present yourself, like how you show up, like what's gonna happen in that motherfucking club when you step in there. Yo, my nigga, if there's a motherfucking Mars in the 3rd house, and you go into the club and there's Scorpio, so you're already going in a dark little low-key space anyway, and now you have Mars there. Oh, you finna get in a fight. You finna get in a fight, like, and it's gonna be over some shit that somebody said. It's gonna be also shit on how somebody looked at you. You feel what I'm saying? It's gonna be like, what? You want to fight today? Like, we will fight, and this is where the fights show up. And most likely you'll be with your best friend, you hear what I'm saying, or your cousin or some shit like that, and y'all will have stepped into the club, and now y'all niggas is fighting and shit, and yo, it gets wild. Like, the knife gets pulled out, shit is getting wild. Like, no, now you have to step out the club. Do you see how it manifests into that kind of shit? So this is why you have to express this energy. So this is why you have to express this energy, and you have to get it out the way. You hear what I'm saying? You get it out the way, and the way to be an energy like that, Mars in 3rd house in Scorpio, is to work out at night, like especially before you go out. Before you go out would be very smart to work out, because the thing is that aggressive energy is going to be there at nighttime. You're going to attract, you know what I'm saying? You're going to attract like certain weird situations and shit like that. And if you have Uranus aspects, unexpected situations, and you're just like, what the fuck? And this is when there's transit. So before you go out, get your boxing thing, box outside for a good 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Get some push-ups in, get your nice little quick sweat. You know what I'm saying? Boo, quick sweat. And then you can get dressed. You sweat off some shit, and you're just like, okay, I'm calm. Like, my energy's good. I take some sage and I put that shit around me. I'm chilling. I do a nice little facial steam, and I'm going out, and I'm smelling good, and I'm having a great time. Do you hear what I'm saying? So you gotta think about it like that. I be saying God is a poet. You know, it's about thinking about it in symbolism. Okay, it's about symbolism for all of this stuff. Don't take it literal, but think about it symbolically first. If Mars represents fighting, the 3rd house represents conversation. You get into fights because you're arguing. But it also makes you a great debater. You know what I'm saying? But you get into fights because of what you know, what that person knows, blah, blah, blah. So, anyway, Gemini in the 12th house. You hear what I'm saying? Gemini in the 12th house now. Or Mercury. You have to let go of how people perceive how you speak, what you mean, what you said. You have to let go of your, you know, if you think you're smart enough for some shit, bitch, you motherfucking smart. Like, let me tell you right now, you know some shit. If you really tap into that Gemini energy, the thing is, I'll do a gifts video for you guys, 12 house gifts, like how you can tap into that energy. But I'll make an example. If you tap into that energy with Gemini Mercury here, this means you speak things into existence. You are a person that needs mantras. You're a person that needs spoken word. You need to write things down, right? You need to, so you can activate those gifts, right? You really need to communicate with the universe what you want. It's really about talking to God, like straight up. Like, What's up? Like, we need to talk. So I need to be doing this and this and this. What do you need me to do? Oh, you need me to be more disciplined over here? Okay, you need me to take more risks over there? Okay, you need me to stop over here and slow down, and okay, copy that. Gotcha. Like, I need direct, and that's what it's about, communication, right? And this is why talking and reading and writing and all these other things are really, really important for people who are Mercury, Gemini here. Okay, so this is extremely, extremely useful in manifesting and getting what you want, but what you need to let go of, period. And that's just what it is. Don't be mad that people don't like the way that you express yourself. Let that shit the fuck go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. I have Gemini here. Okay. And it's always, I remember my mom was always saying, it's not what you said, it's how you said it. It's not what you said, it's how you said it. I'm like, what? I still said what I said. Like, why do I have to, what do I have to do? Do I have to speak it like this? Do I have to say it very gently? Do I have to just speak? And mind you, I have an Aries North Node, so it's just like people take what I say aggressively anyway. I can't win either way. So that's just what it is. Like, it is what it is. I said what the fuck I said. I don't care how you fucking receive it. I don't care if you have this kind of idea about what I'm saying. I cannot interpret your shit for you. You have to realize that people cannot interpret. The way people perceive things is so different. Like, everyone has a different perception. That's why you're learning astrology. You feel what I'm saying? And astrology makes you feel like, oh shit. That's why you have interest in the occult and the, all that other shit, because you're just like, yo, I need to explain why niggas is not understanding me, bitch. Like, why are you not understanding what I'm saying? I'm not saying anything, and especially when you're a person who's not really saying nothing negative and shit. Like, I'm a person who doesn't say many negative things because I don't really have much negative shit to say. I'm just like, I either fucks with it or I don't. Period. Like, I don't have to talk people down to not fuck with something, if that makes sense. Like, I understand that people are different and that we have different needs and, different wants and desires. Like, I don't need what you need. I just don't have to fuck with what you fuck with. Like, that's just point blank, period. I don't care. But let me tell you, Gemini, like, people have told me, you shouldn't curse, you shouldn't. I said, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't care what you say. I'm a grown up. I'm a whole adult. You don't, and as a Libra South Node, of course, people want me to be like prim and proper, and I'm like, yo, relax. Okay, what I mean, like, don't worry about it. If you don't catch what I'm saying, or if you're not willing to get the information, you see what I'm saying? Gemini is all about information, and that's why Gemini there tends to, we overread, we overthink. We overanalyze. We look at the patterns in shit. You know what I'm saying? We're always like trying to find shit, trying to understand the meaning behind shit and the reason. Sometimes there's just no fucking meaning or reasoning. Just let it go. Like, people's perspective is their perspective, and it is what it is, and that's where they are. And that's the beauty of life. The beauty of life is that people are where they are, and we are moving perfectly in sync, even if we don't agree with each other. And there's two truths. There are two truths. Like, two things can be true at once, because other people's perspective matters, and so yours. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's perspective matters. It's just who you want to hang out with. Like, period. Like, I don't know why people can be getting so tight. Okay. Like, we don't have to be friends. It's not that deep. Like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. I gotta use the restroom. Yeah, I be seeing some YouTubers like go live and they don't ever go to the restroom, and I'm like, how? Did you hear me pee? you know, it is what it is. We all pee. I don't really give a shit. All right, so I'm going. I keep going. So here we are. I'm drinking my water. That's what you get for drinking so much water and being hydrated and shit. Y'all be like, skincare routine. Here you go. Skincare routine. Water. I love y'all. We be too close. Okay, so anyway, now let's talk about Cancer here, or the moon. Right? Cancer here, the moon. So what do I want to say? First of all, you have to let go of needing other people to feel how you feel. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? You need to let go of needing other people to feel you. This is the type of motherfuckers y'all, you don't feel me though. You don't feel me though. Like, you don't. Yes, we do feel you, or maybe I don't. Who cares? Like, just say what you want to say. You know what I'm saying? I just say what you, like, what are we doing right now? What's happening? Why do I have to feel the way that you feel to make your statements valid? I don't have to be emotionally tethered to the same thing you're emotionally tethered to or emotionally moved by. You need to be more realistic about people's emotional capabilities and their space and what they're capable of. Like, yo, as with the moon there, Cancer there, all right? This is not it. You cannot expect people to first of all, be private about the things you're private about. Like, you can't expect that. That everybody's idea of privacy is different. Everybody's idea of emotional recovery is different. You know what I'm saying? You really have to understand that as a Cancer moon here, or the moon here, you know what I'm saying? You really have to stop mirroring your emotions onto other people, places, and things because you don't understand. Don't do it. Like, don't do it. Do not make it happen. What we doing right now. You need to have better grasp on emotional space and stop, going in a shell when you feel like people don't hear you, feel you. Like, you just shut yourself down, and it makes you hard to read, and it makes you really hard to connect with, and it makes you really difficult to it makes it hard to see what you're seeing because you don't emotionally just let yourself pour out, and you expect other people to meet you where you're at and care about the same shit that you care about. Everyone don't care about the same shit you care about. That's what I'm trying to express. Like, at the end of the day, people don't care about the same shit. You have to, it's selfish to think that people should care about the same thing you care about. And this is coming from a Cancer rising. Let me tell you right now, it's ridiculous. It was crazy. Okay, it's crazy to make people, we're different. Like, respect my differences. Like, respect the fact that I'm not moved by the same thing that you're moved in, and I'm not invested in the same thing emotionally that you're invested in. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you really have to realize with that shit. Like, it's real. Like, it can get very emotionally taxing for your family. It can get you're like psychologically tethered to them, and you feel as if they need to feel you on everything that you go through. No, like, that is too much. You know what I'm saying? People don't have the same capacity. They don't have the same emotional space, intelligence, the same emotional sector, the same emotional anything. So make it make sense. And you need to have a different relationship with your mother. She is her own individual person. You know what I'm saying? She is her own individual person. Leave her alone. Stop making her at fault for your suffering, and stop with the victim mentality or the codependency between y'all. It's too much. Like, you have to start You are an individual. This is why you're a Leo rising. You have to learn that you have to stand on your own motherfucking feet. You have to have the courage to stand up for your own emotions and what you're feeling deep down on the inside. You have to have the ability to be more emotionally available and to be more vulnerable to people, places, and things around you, because that's what makes you such an individual. Do you know what I'm saying? Your vulnerability makes you an individual. I hope you guys really understand that. That's what, if you how can you be an individual? Keep your eyes on the prize, and the prize is me. See, I gotta put y'all things up. But how can you be an individual if you don't feel what you need to feel? You need to own your feelings. You know what I'm saying? You need to own how you feel about shit and stop making it seem like everybody else needs to do that with you. Okay? So, now, you're like, dang, I feel read and seen all at the same time. That's exactly how I deliver it. It's like, I can read you, but I can see you at the same time. Like, I love to just, we have all of us have all these planets and these experiences in our lives somewhere, somehow. So don't think that we don't have it. Some people just have it more than others. And some people, that's just a theme of their life, or a major theme of their life. And so that's why they have to learn how to navigate it. So this is why it's important. Now, if you have Leo there, the sun, right, you need to really let go of the idea of not getting recognized for what you want. You need to let go of the fact that you feel so unseen. Validation is extremely important for you. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you need an audience every day to follow you around, because you have a secret playlist in your head anyway, and you're just walking around with like this music in your head, and you're just like, yo, life is a movie star. The trick we all have tells us when to wake up, when to go to sleep, is when the sun comes in and out. We know when it lights up our path. It shows us where we are. And because you have Leo there, or the sun there, you have a fear of validating yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have a fear of letting yourself be seen in as many different ways as possible. Your creativity scares you, because your mind goes to so many different levels, and you can see so many different things, right? There was something that you feel disconnected from your childhood, right? You feel like there was a piece of your childhood was really missing, and you really feel as if with the sun there, or Leo, it's just like you might low-key get jealous of other people who are doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you want respect for you as well. You want to be seen for you, and you want to be in your space, in your grounding, in your center, but you feel as if when other people are doing that, it takes away from you. No, that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening at all. You're the one that actually decides with Leo or Sun in the 12th house when you want to come out, or when you want to retreat back in. Interesting, right? Because this is the king or the queen, and this is the king or the queen in the castle that's the castle that's the most glamorous, the most beautiful, the most pristine, the most magnificent castle, the most magical castle that you could ever have seen. Anything in your imagination, how you want that castle to be, that's where that person lives, and that's where they stay, and that's who they are, and that has a lot to do with people's imagination around who you are. You know what I'm saying? But you separate yourself from things. You separate yourself from the situation. You know what I'm saying? And you can come as close or as far as you want, because you're technically on a cloud anyway. So you can come as close or as far as you want to the people, places, and things around you. And so when your Leo is there, the sun is there, you have a tendency to really try to, you were outshined at some point. And so you felt as if your talents were unseen, and as if you were just unheard. You know what I'm saying? Out here, all this other stuff. And so it's just like, it's this journey of trying to understand life again, to find your joy again, to find your heart again. That's just how it feels, So you have to let go of the idea that you are not seen, loved, and cared for, and just really cherished. You know, you have to let go of that. You are cherished to some person, place, or thing. I'm telling you, you are. There's another energy out there that cherishes you, and you have to keep navigating and finding and connecting, and but being willing to be seen so that people can have this connection with you. So if you have Virgo there or Mercury there, okay, you need to stop thinking you can outsmart God. Don't. It's y'all thinking y'all smarter than God for me. It's just like, what are you talking about? You cannot outsmart God. You cannot control everything in every single aspect of your life, right? With Virgo here, you are very oriented towards perfectionism and this ideal that does not exist. This, you know, this entire, it's just like you cannot, you know, there is no perfect life. There is no perfect way to be. There is no perfect way to live. There is no perfect, you know, there isn't. And that's why on the 6, it can kind of make you like, oh, I don't know what to do. You know, you can make you feel lost every single day because you are so trapped in these ideas of perfectionism, which by the way come from way too many fucking sources, and so therefore they don't even agree. And now you know about astrology, and now you know there's 12 different signs, and now you know there's a lot of planets, and there's a lot of aspects, and there's different things. So people are complex and people's needs are different, and so it freezes you. Okay, and this is why you get lost, and this is why I'm telling you it's scary, because this turns into secretly taking pills, okay, behind the scenes, because you're trying to get through the day, because you're trying to navigate through shit. You're secretly, you know, having issues with your health. You're secretly, and you hide your health issues. You hide your how your mental health is and how your mental state is, and you feel, oh, I feel so lost. I feel lost every day. I feel lost every day. But this is why Pisces on the 6th, you know, this is why you have to look at the polarity. You always have to look at the thing across from it to understand how those houses are working together, how those clubs are working together, right? Because one is the club, one might be the place where you're getting ready or whatever the case may be. But if you have Pisces in the 6th, this is why meditation, this is why resting, this is why having really a good night's sleep is a part of your everyday life. Intuitive eating is a part of your everyday life. This is why you cannot over control. This is why even your health reflects in that you over control it. You have more health issues for some reason. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of wild and crazy. Astrology is wild. And obviously I'm not a doctor or a medical professional. This is educational purposes only. And this is for fun, right? Astrology. But this is essentially what you can see pop up here. And this is why Pisces has an escapist attitude. And whatever it is that you're escaping into, it's a way to try to control it. But what you need to do is go with the flow. Because when Pisces is in the 6th, it's telling you to go with the flow of life, and stop trying to control every single thing every day. That's literally the lesson right there. Do you see? It's the lesson when it's across from each other. You have to really let go and let God. You have to have a good spiritual, healthy relationship with whatever spirit, whatever belief system that you have, right? You really, there's a sense of okay, we're jumping and we're letting this happen, right? And obviously practicing discernment, obviously using your intelligence and seeing things and understanding people's body language and things of that nature, you know. But you can't control how people react. You can't control how people see you. You can't control what people do. You can't control all these other things. All you can do is control your reactions and how you relate to things, and then how you recover from it afterwards. What you've learned, and then what you've recovered, you know, what you've recovered from it, what you've discovered from it, because there's a gem in it, right? My dog is not barking at me. That's the neighbor's dog, but thank you very much, Santana. Y'all nosy. So now if we have, let me see. Keep your eyes on the prize. The prize is me. It's a good reminder. Now if you have, let's see. Thank you. I'm glad that you like it. I like my favorite book list here too. Let's see. If you have Libra there, Venus, okay? If you have Libra and Venus there, so relationships, you know, your idea about relationships and what they are and what they mean to you, you know, what, just thinking that a relationship is going to complete you and that you're going to find God through a relationship, like, that's not how this works. Okay, that's not how this works. No relationship is going to come and save you. No, being in love is not going to come and save you from yourself. No, that's not how life works. That's why you need to focus on yourself and your own actions every single day. Aries on the 6th house. You see how these polarities work out? Get into it. Get into it. So when you have Libra there, you know, your relationships, you idealize them, you put them on a pedestal. No. You're supposed to literally take care of yourself, you know, and stop letting your relationships and the need to, you know, over compromise and meet people in the middle, you know, all that other stuff. Like, no, like, you need to make sure that you're good. That's why Aries is there in the 6th house, because your own actions, the way that you react to things and who you are, your identity matters to you and what you do. Okay, your actions and their actions are not tethered together. Not the oh you made me do it. It's very, like, especially when you're in a weird relationship. Okay, I don't know if maybe we can find a better word for toxic, but you know, this is definitely toxic relationship territory. You cannot separate yourself from the other person. You cannot take ownership of your own actions. You know what I'm saying? You're not taking ownership of what you've done, how aggressive you are, or how spiteful you've been. You know what I'm saying? You're not taking any actions for how mean that you become, or whatever the case may be. All that kind of stuff can happen. And so it's a tit for tat, you know. Oh, you did this, I did that, and I only did that because you did this, and I only did that because, and it's just like, why are we nitpicking? Why are we fighting? Why are we, and it could be very subtle, you know what I'm saying? Because it depends on where Mars is and what Mars is doing in your chart. Because if Mars is in Pisces, it could be coming off in a very loving way, you know, very smooth and gaslighty. You know what I'm saying? Like, very like, yeah, Antenna, I know, we peeped that. And so it's like very smooth, and the person seems like they're nice. It seems like they're soft, but there's something sneaky about them. You know what I'm saying? There's something vague about their actions, and it's not clear to you. You hear what I'm saying? So shit like that be going down, and it's not as clear as it seems, and so it confuses you. Okay, so yeah, Mars and Capricorn can definitely give you the silent treatment, right? Like, right? And don't get me wrong. Some of these tactics and tools are necessary, because they are necessary. Like, being able to be reserved and not reactive is a necessary tool. Being emotionless, especially in an emotional situation, is not good. Like, I don't care who you are. You don't need right? Like, you cannot be overly logical. You cannot be overly, you know, sticking to the rules and all this other shit. No, everything is not about rules. It's about bending rules and understanding things, and things are malleable, and we're evolving and we're changing all the time. So how the fuck are there any rules if we're changing all the time? Make it make sense. You see what I'm saying? So now, I'm doing Libra on the 12th right now, Maria Boo. So we're talking about idealized relationships, putting your relationships first, you know, losing yourself in the relationship, you know, leaving your friends, getting too lost in that situation, or diving too much even into either diving too much into work or into much to your relationship. It's like you have a hard time finding a balance between the two. You know, you have a hard time connecting, and you either prioritize one or the other, and it's a sharp left, you know, or a sharp right. It's never just a smooth, you know, situation. So that's why when you have Libra there, you have to look for your Venus and what your Venus is doing and where it's at. And you have to see the aspects to your Venus, because your Venus has a lot to do with your self-esteem, your self-worth, and then it translates into material things like money and your relationships and how you act in your relationships and what you think you're worth in your relationships. You know what I'm saying? This is why a lot of times when Libra's in the 12th or Venus is there can be secret relationships, okay? There can be, you know, the mister and the mistress type of situation, or the being hidden, or never being told, never being introduced to the family, never being introduced, shit like that, just never being really a part of the person's life. Is because you're not being realistic and saying this person is hiding something from me because I'm hiding something from myself, because I'm losing myself in this situation. I'm letting this person dictate my every single move instead of having direction for myself. You know, instead of directing myself, and then if they want to walk alongside me, they can walk alongside me. This is the type of shit that's happening, right? And this is why it slips into that misty and murky territory. Okay? So then if you have Scorpio there, or Pluto, Mars, right? You need to let go of trying to change and disrupt everything. You know, stop making it complicated. Stop making it so complicated. Everything is not always so complicated. Everything is not so deep. Everything is not so, you know, this is with when you have Scorpio, Pluto, Mars situation there, especially Pluto, you know, there's a deep psychological need to know everything. There's this paranoia about life. There's this need to this is why spies and stuff are, you know, in the 12th house. These are people who do that, because, or researchers, detectives, you know, they need to like break down. That's why you have to direct that energy into something productive, right? But with Scorpio there, you need to let go of the idea that you don't need to change, or that somebody else, or that you don't need to force someone to change. You know, you don't need to press people's buttons. You don't need to agitate the situation or to compel someone to change their beliefs or what they think about themselves, or whatever the case may be. Let it be organic. Let it be magical, you know, instead of trying to force the change upon the person. Instead of challenging, you know, people's fears all the time. Instead of, there's that interesting kind of scope with Scorpio there, because it has to do a lot with psychology. It has a lot to do with transformation, death. It has a lot to do with, you know, control, power play. And so you can be very manipulative, you know what I'm saying? Extremely manipulative, just by nature, right? Because you want to control how you want to control the world that you're manifesting so much that you're trying to control how other people show up in your world, and that's counterproductive to that. You know, that's why you have Taurus in the 6th, because you need to simplify things. You need to, hey, I'm glad you caught the live too. You need to simplify things. You need to take it easy. You hear what I'm saying? You need to realize that people's values change when they are improving on themselves, but self-improvement is when you self-initiate and you really go for it, you know. But everyone is not in the same place, okay? Everyone is not in the same place at the same time. Everyone doesn't have the same control issues. You don't need to project your control issues, okay? So you don't need to tell people what they think about sex, what they think about relationships, what they think about death, what do you think about death? Like, relax, take it easy, be more relaxed, be more chill, let the conversation come up very naturally. You know, you don't need to force it upon people because you want to get into their psychology, and it's because you're paranoid and you're scared. You know, you're scared that your mind is going to be controlled, so you feel like you need to break the ice first and control other people's minds, instead of or like feel like you're not getting mind control because you're saying it first. You know what I'm saying? But that's not really what we're having done here. Like, we're trying to control. No, stop being so scared. that, you know, stop being scared to let somebody in your space, to be vulnerable. You know, stop being scared of intimacy, right? It's Scorpio here can be an extremely challenging placement because you just hide a lot of things naturally, you know, because you're not willing to let, you know, when you're in crisis, you were not willing to let that be seen. Okay? You know, don't be mad how other people react to you about it. You know what I'm saying? How you felt is how you felt. This is why there could be huge blowouts with this kind of placement. Huge major control struggles behind the scenes, you know, and it's like you could be two different people. You could be like two completely different people, and people are just like, what? And so when your secrets come out, they can destroy, you know, you. Literally, they can destroy you, and then this is when you go into deep isolation and things like that because, you know, your image has been tainted. So it's definitely a lot to it. That's why you have to have a better relationship with dynamics. Now, if you have Sagittarius, right? We're almost done. If you have Sagittarius there, you need to let go of the need to be a know-it-all and like need to be right all the time. You need to let go of the idea that you know more, that you're wiser than everybody else, because wisdom comes in so many different ways, shapes, and forms. And that's all that I'm trying to say. It's not that you're not wise in what you're wise in, because everyone has an expertise of wisdom, of innate wisdom that they come down here with, that they're gifted with. But you need to understand that everybody's beliefs are their beliefs, and they're entitled to them. Everyone's morality is different. You know, everyone's integral baseline is not the same. Everyone's trajectory, everyone's dreams do not align. All right, but they align, but they don't align in the way that you feel like they should align. Okay, if that makes sense. You don't need other people to believe what you don't need your beliefs to be reinforced. You don't need to hide under your beliefs either. Okay, so when you have Sagittarius here, Sagittarius is all about. It's nice here because, you know, it really has this deep inner wisdom and this knowledge, but it could be judgy and preachy and just, oh, I know, like all that kind of energy, so much so that you're not willing to learn. You're not willing to be open to the conversation, and your knowledge, it's weird because it's like a juxtaposition. Your knowledge can get you in trouble somehow, the way that you express it, you know, but, you know, so it's different. And my thing is, maybe you're challenged with expressing yourself very thoroughly. You have a north node here, and you're meant to do this. So it is what it is. I'm gonna express myself, and it is. But make sure that you're not impeding and trying to and judging other people for their beliefs. If that makes sense, you know. Yes, some shit is stupid. Okay, we all know some shit is dumb because everybody has their own perception of what's dumb. That's what I just feel. So people are just like. Everyone does not have the same sense of humor, okay? They're like all of that kind of stuff. So kind of let that go. Laugh at it. Laugh at people's different beliefs because they're always evolving. They're always changing just like yours. Because when you were younger, you used to have such probably dogmatic beliefs about certain people, places, and things. And you've seen how much you have changed. So realize that change is happening in other people just at different rates, you know, but also honor that within others. And don't feel like you have to make people validate your you know who you are as a person, what you bring to the world. You don't need that. You just have good conversations with people, and this is why you really have, you know, you love to travel and you have great relationships with especially foreigners. You feel like foreigners understand you better, you know what I'm saying? So there's a deeper connection there between, you know, like if you have Mercury and Sagittarius and Pisces, I would learn a different language and I would travel because it would, you know, the confusion that you first have with the different, but you have so much curiosity to connect with somebody about, you know, their culture and really like see their perspective and their reasoning behind life and why they do the things that they do. But, you know, you have to, you know, connect with them and communicate with them in their way. So it's really good to pick up another language. That's why I say Sagittarius placements should pick up definitely another language. Gemini placements, another language, things like that. And, you know, if it's in the 12th house, then pick a foreign language. You feel what I'm saying? And then this is like, oh, you're born in America and now you learn Mandarin, and you have Mandarin, and you lived over in Asian countries, especially ones that speak Mandarin, and realizing that, and you're like, wow, some of my best friends are from there. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. Like, oh, my best friends are from there. I had the best time. I had the best time when I was there. So it's stuff that's how it manifests into life, because you'll take a scholarship. Like if you ninth house placements are strong, you'll take a scholarship, you'll go overseas, you'll learn a different language, you'll discover that you have talents, you'll discover that you learn a lot from people who are not from your culture, and you see different backgrounds, and now you have a bigger reasoning for life, and now you feel it just becomes this domino effect, and this is how the life is manifested and formulated. That's why astrology is so interesting, because it's like, damn, really. Anyway, so now we have Capricorn on the 12th. Capricorn or Saturn, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, Capricorn or Saturn, whatever. If we have this here now, you have to let go of resentment, okay? You have to let go of the idea that your childhood wasn't the same, that, old ways of thinking are holding you back. I'm telling you, you being slow to, you're immature. There's a certain type of immaturity here with this placement, because it's emotional immaturity, okay? It's is seeing that life is against you, and that, oh, the odds are stacked against me, and life is hard, that kind of thing. Almost like the woe is me type of attitude, because Capricorn has a lot of failure, fear of failure, fear of not making it to their dreams. But the thing is, you have to be a little bit more flexible, because Capricorn here wants you to strengthen your relationship with the unknown, and wants you to strengthen your relationship of, yes, you had a plan, but your plans can always get moved, and you know what I'm saying? They can always get changed and transformed. Your plans are going to get changed and transformed, period. Your long-term plans are going to get changed and transformed with this placement, because Pisces is the self-undoing. And so you had a dream when you were younger, but most likely it's going to be something different. And there's an age, even when you get older. Maybe when you get older, you fucking tap into what you wanted to tap into, but you just waited long because you felt like you had other things that you had to work through. But, you really have that ability. You really have that ability to, see things long term. That's your gift. Your ability is you're able to see things long term, but your inability is to feel things through. And that's why you have Cancer on the 6th, because you have to feel things through. You have to follow your intuition. Your intuition really matters. Your gut instincts matter. And this is why you have Cancer there, and your health really matters. You know what I'm saying? And your emotions are connected to your health. And this is why it can then transform into anxiety and things like that, right? And not being able to sleep at night and being restless. And then, right? And then this can affect how you look. And this is why you could look old, you know what I'm saying, if you ain't getting your rest for real. I'm telling you, you need your rest. Aquarius rising need to sleep. You hear what I'm saying? So you don't want to do that because you're scared that this and that, and that society is not accepting of me, and this, I have had a hard life, a difficult life. And definitely, it's Aquarius rising, so you've gone through shit, you know what I mean? But there's also there's a we against them, you know what I'm saying? We against them type of feeling when it comes, like, you can't win, and we can't. Listen, we all win at different times. If we just accept that, then we realize that life will be easier. We all win at different times when we're supposed to win. We cannot all win at the same time. That is unrealistic. That is not a real way of living. Everyone cannot be up or down or sideways or indifferent or neutral at the same time. That is not how it works. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why the resentment can come in. That's why you're going to be challenged daily to feel your emotions, to really go through the motions, to really be connected to your emotional space. You have to be connected to your emotions, because spirit is like, no. The moon moves every 2.5 days, and every 2.5 days you're gonna feel a different type of energy. Get into it. You have to feel connected to yourself. This whole playing the badass type of thing and all this other stuff, and life is hard for me, and now I'm cold and detached and I don't want to talk to nobody. That's just a mask that you're wearing. You don't have to be this person. That's why it's that universe is telling you need to be connected to your roots every day. You need to be connected to your heart center. You know what I'm saying? You need to be connected to your emotional space. Your safety and security comes from you actually being connected to your emotions, not from any other illusions that you're creating for yourself. Okay? Not just success. Okay? So boom. Then if you have Aquarius here, right? Aquarius, yeah, Aquarius, Saturn, Uranus, Saturn, right? Most likely Uranus. You have to let go of you have to let go of the need to be cold-hearted, okay? You need to let go of the need to be cold-hearted. Like you're not gonna win that way. You're not gonna win that way. You're not gonna win by detaching from spirit. You're not gonna win by, not believing in magic. That's not gonna win. That's ego based. That's ego based to think that that everything is on the people and everything is on the physical realm. There's a spiritual realm out here. There's an intangible world, and that's why you're being challenged. And that's why people with displacement will have a great awakening. These people might all of a sudden, become vegan and then go on a trip by themselves, and that trip transforms them, and then they come back and then they shave their head, and then they become this whole entire person, and they do something different. It's like it's a whole thing. It's like a shock. This person changes immediately. It's like they could be one way for 60 years, and then all of a sudden a transit comes to that Uranus, because Uranus moves very slow, and then all of a sudden that boom, they change. You're like, oh my God, this person is a completely different person, but it's wild with Aquarius here, because you have this issue with detachment and isolation and being alone. It's because you have Leo on the 6th. You're supposed to be in your heart every day. You're supposed to stand on your toes every day. You're supposed to really be seeing life for what it is. Where that's this energy that showing up for yourself, okay? Showing up for yourself and showing up for who you are and what state that you're in. Not sinking away, not letting things go by you. This is why you have that sun energy there, because Spirit wants you to actually pay attention to what you're doing every day. Don't just let life railroad you. And you can be railroaded if you're constantly detaching yourself from things, and you're not allowed, and you don't want to see what you want to see. If you're always going to just be, okay, well, it is what it is. No, things are not just, it is what it is. You can be passionate about life. You can be fucking upset. You can be, you can have some kind of feeling about it. You can be ignited by it. You know what I'm saying? You can really be moved by what the fuck is happening. You don't have to feel as if you have to sacrifice. Oh, well, we have to do this, and we have to sacrifice to get what we. No. Just like I said, we cannot all win at the same time. It's like very much reinforced here, because there's this air sun here. But I'm talking about, you will still detach. Now, it'll come out in a different way, because you'll detach if you don't win. And that's a whole different conversation, right? If the sun in Leo here, you have Aquarius there, you have a horrible relationship with winning. You are a sore loser, all right? And so that's a different conversation, right? And that's when you do need the 12th house, and you need to detach from your ego, baby, and you need to calm down, because everybody's a winner at some point. And so that's where it comes in. It all depends on where that placement is and how it participates with that energy. But in general, with Aquarius here, that's why you're going to go through a sudden change. That's why you're going to go through a shift. That's why you're going to go through a challenge. Do you hear what I'm saying? That's why you're going to go through those sudden things and come to an awakening and awareness in your everyday life. And it might be like you went to the grocery store, and all of a sudden, you see some wild shit going down there, and that shit just awakens you. You're like, life is short. I can't even. Wow, I'm over here just, and that's why you become a humanitarian. That's why you become a person who becomes a person for the people. Especially if you were more selfish based with Sun in the 6th house. If you have a lot of Aries energy and all this other stuff, hard aspects to Mars, Saturn. It can make you very self-driven, selfish. And so something comes into your 12th house where you're like, oh no, like Venus can come there and all of a sudden you get into a relationship that tempers your ego down. You hear what I'm saying? So this is how that all kind of like plays out. So now I said Capricorn and Aquarius. Last but not least, we're doing Pisces. So Pisces on the 12th house, Neptune or Jupiter. I don't care. Argue about Jupiter. It's not really my business. That's yours. But when you have Pisces, Neptune, or Jupiter in this area, this is about, really forgiveness. Like you have a weird relationship with forgiveness and compassion. And you really have to work through that. It's almost as if it's almost like you don't want to, because you have a hard time doing it for yourself. So it's hard for you to do it for other people. You know what I mean? It's hard for you to show up in that way for other people. You have a weird issue with boundaries. You have a weird issue with, because the boundaries can be too reinforced. You know what I'm saying? It could be too much, like, oh, this is about me and I'm doing my, or it could be just like, I'll do whatever you want me to. It really depends on what the placements are. Okay. Oh, thank you. So when we have Pisces there, it's a lot of self-sabotage included as well. It's a lot of self-sacrificing, a lot of victim mentality, really got to go that victim that's suffering. Oh my God. Suffering. Let it go. We all have stories, you know what I'm saying? And yes, some people get their ass kicked more than others. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying we all have stories and we all place value, aka weight, differently on what affects us differently, because we all have different moments, and that all has to do with the transits and your chart and what you place value on, and that's what makes you an individual. But when you have Pisces there, is too much. Like you get lost way too much. It's almost like as if you can't forgive yourself for being lost, for having the wool pull over your eyes, for having people rattle you so easily, because Pisces here can be extremely impressionable, right? Because that's why you're in Aries rising. You're here to identify with yourself, and you're really here to take ownership of your actions and to lead your own life. That's why you're in Aries rising. But with Pisces in the 12th house, you have blurred lines, you know what I'm saying? It's skewed views. It's not real clarity on how to really do that. So you're put in positions where you have to fight for yourself. You hear what I'm saying? Because you have an Aries rising. You're put in positions where you are challenged, where you do have to assert yourself and become aggressive in the situation because you have blurred lines. You hear what I'm saying? So the whole Aries, the whole Pisces energy in the 12th is really about understanding how to trust your deep intuition, how to have a better relationship with spirit, and how to let that guide you, but not to be distracted by your overthinking of a situation. When you have Virgo on the 6th house, it really affects your health, you know what I'm saying? And it really affects your mind state and how you think about people, places, and things, and how you then thus manifest the world that you have. And so you can manifest yourself a war zone, or you can manifest yourself a place where you know how to defend yourself if need be, and that's it. Right? So that's basically with Pisces there, you really have to have a better relationship with owning, your moves and owning what you pay attention to. Okay? You have to really pay attention to what you need to pay attention to, because this is, Aries rising can be a fight for your life. Like it really can be a fight for your life. That's why the rising sign is really important. You know what I'm saying? You really could feel like you're just like, fuck, I'm always going through some shit. And even Aries stellium, first house stellium, can always just feel like, damn, is life always happening to me, or am I happening to life? Like what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? So with Pisces here, that's why spirituality is really important. Resting is important. Daydreaming, having a relationship with spirit, God, universe. And even if you do feel lost, letting that lost feeling not consume you and drown you out, but letting it guide you. Because even when you're on the ship and you're lost, there's still beauty, there's still sunlight there. That's why you look to your Leo house to find your joy. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you create and you do those things there. And then you go to your Aquarius house to share it with people that you created with. What I'm saying, and that's your 11th house. You can do it on social media. You can do that in a group setting, in your neighborhood, whatever. If you have a Jupiter there, you take a trip and do it at a retreat or something like that. You feel what I'm saying? So it gets to different things that manifest. But with Pisces here, you really have to, journaling is really important because you have Virgo on the 6th house, and paying attention to things, details, practicing discernment is really, really important. Making sure that you pay attention to how people move throughout life, not out of scare, not being out of being scared, but being out of like, no, curious. I want to learn about people. I want to learn about everyday living. I want to learn what it is. This is why these people can make great, musicians, athletes. They can make great actors because they have to mimic life and what people are like. Okay? So, what did you guys think about this video? That's the end of it. I'm done. I was on here for way too long. But I swear it's the third time making this video. I'm like, why is it not working? I'm about to look at my transits right now. I'm like, why is this not working for me? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I have the sun in my third house right now, but my sun is making a hard aspect to Mars. That's okay. Oh, and it's making a hard aspect to my natal sun. That's okay. And then my natal sun is conjunct my Mercury, so that's why my communication has been off. It's been like, girl, get it together. Did you guys learn something? Yes, we got a lot of likes compared to the people in the chat. I'm very excited. Thank you. I'm trying to get to 100K on Twitter. My Twitter is at I am Novi Brown. If you don't follow me, my Instagram is I am Novi Brown, and then the same thing is at I am Novi Brown on Twitter. Those are the 3 platforms that I have right now. I really wanted y'all to see how this can, impact you guys, and you can use it as for your transits as well, obviously, or with synastry. It's really easy. So if let's say if somebody's moon is falling into your 12th house, there's some emotional release that's going to happen. There's emotional connection. You're going to feel like, wow, I feel like I've known you my whole life. Do I know you from the past? Like, what the fuck? Did we used to be in a relationship? Did we used to be best friends? Did we used to be, enemies? Like, what's up? Like, I feel like I know you from the past, and that's where the moon comes in. So if you have Aquarius there and somebody's Aquarius moon, no wonder that they hit you, where your heart is, and you're just like, I just feel like this person understands me. See, that's good synastry too. Like, that would be really good synastry. And then if you have a moon sign in an air sign or an air house, that would be really, really good, because it's just like, wow, I feel like. But now if you have Pluto aspect, it can make it toxic if it's hard aspects. Okay, this is what can make it like obsession and I can't let go of you type of thing. Now, let's say if somebody's Mercury is falling in your 12th house, they have a message for you. Okay. They want to tell you something. There's something about your mind, the way that you think, that needs to come to your attention, and they challenge you there. And that's just something, this person might give you tarot cards. They might give you a book on astrology as a present. Well, it doesn't matter. Or they might take you to, they might take you to like a spiritual dinner or something like that. Like, oh, come to my family's house, and a certain religion or something. And then you're invited to their house. Like, you're invited to their holiday, and you're like having a dinner with them. So that could definitely happen. Now, if you have the sun there, then it's definitely going to be something with your father going on, right? This is going to be something with children going on. Like, there might be a kid that has a message for you. You might be on the playground with your niece or your own kid, and then the kid comes up and says, oh, look at this. And you're just like, oh, what is that? And they said, magic. And then they run away, and you're just like, what? What was that? But it was a kid telling you, giving you something or showing you something beautiful from life. There's some kind of beauty that you need to see, and this person is going to bring you some kind of joy, some spiritual joy into your life. And you're going to feel like, wow, I feel seen by this person, or this person sees me or sees my deeper side. Even if you might be scared because you might have Pluto there, so you might be scared for the person to see you, but it doesn't matter, because you still feels like the person sees you. If you have Mars there, they're gonna inspire you to do something, to dig deeper within your subconscious. They're gonna inspire you. You're gonna have you could have sexual fantasies about this person. You could just feel a deep attraction and you're just interested in their energy. Their energy turns you on, and there's something about their energy turning you on that leads you to explore something deeper within yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you're just like, oh, okay, there's a spark that was led there. And it could have been a one-time thing. Like, it could have been on vacation. You have Jupiter aspects, and now we all grown here. Everybody do what they want, and you have a one-night stand. But it was like a spiritual connection, and then this sexual spiritual connection led you to walk on the beach, and then you walked on the beach, and then you saw this symbolism, and that symbolism, it just becomes this thing, and then it inspires you to go deeper into your spiritual life, and deeper into the unknown, stuff like that. What else? If you have Saturn here, an elder could come by into your life. This is definitely when ancestors are like very present, and you're you have to solidify your relationship with spirit anyway. So you might have an elder in your life to kind of just remind you of certain things. Saturn here is here to remind you that failure is an illusion, you know what I'm saying, that you really can let that go. And this is why you'll have stories from people of older age. This is maybe, this is a situation where your grandmother can end up in, the hospital or something, but then you sit there and you have Mercury aspects and she's telling you stories about her life and how it was so hard, but then she realized what the lesson is and what the joy is in life, and she's giving you these stories, and these are things that help mature you. You become very mature with this transit because a lot of things are happening. You have to come up against your greatest fears, you know what I'm saying? So it's a very, very solidifying experience when it comes to your spirituality. Let's say you have Pluto there, there's definitely, you're gonna have you're gonna have a battle with your fear. You know what I'm saying? You have to see what it is with your fear that you're really feeling, and you have to your idea of what perception of control around life and how you transform yourself. So Pluto is definitely going to be a challenge here in the 12th house. You're going to definitely be impacted on a deeper sense. It goes extremely spiritually, psychologically deep. You can end up in a mental institution. You can, check yourself in. You can get a therapist. You can get into psychology. You can get into counseling. This is that time in your life. If you have Jupiter aspects, you might be going to school for psychology and be like, I need to be a psychologist. I just feel like I need to do this. I need to make this happen. This is how it happens. Or if you have aspects of Mercury, maybe a brother or a sibling or something like that, or somebody close in your family went to, the psychological ward, and now you're looking more into psychology and brain dysfunctions and the brain chemistry and things like that, or more into the occult world or the behind the scenes world, and why does God do things? It's questioning of life, it gets very, 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 very psychologically deep. If you have Neptune there, it just definitely causes you to feel lost and confused, and this is why your everyday routine is very, very important. But definitely your relationships with toxins, this is a good time to be more on the clean side, really into your health, because Neptune represents toxins and poisons, and you can miss something with this transit coming here. You really want to be aware of your body and treat your body with respect, because it could be, not pleasant. Neptune here also just kind of dissolves things and takes things, it just changes things, okay? It just changes the entire environment. So you have to be extremely open to the shift, because if not, you will feel like you're gonna drown, open to the shift, open to what it might be, have as much stability, looking for your Venus as much as you can, because Venus is exalted in the 12th house anyway, so Venus can really help stabilize you. Venus and Taurus. I think that's all of them. Well, Jupiter, definitely you're going to get a lot of mentors coming in, people who just drop knowledge on you, you know what I'm saying? Deep, deep, deep knowledge. You're just like, wow. And you just feel as if the person is spiritually divine and connected, and they were supposed to show up in your life. It's like so many blessings come out of nowhere, you don't, and then you almost don't feel like you deserve them, and you have to be careful with that, because you can talk yourself out of your blessings with this position, because you're just like, why all of a sudden you got a paycheck for 10 grand, all of a sudden you got a car out of nowhere, because there's an aspect from Mercury and Venus, and all of a sudden you're in third house. Your third house is activated, so you just got a brand new car from your uncle, and you're just like, why did I get that? Oh, wow. And then maybe people will make you feel guilty because you got something from your uncle or whatever, from your aunt, and you're just like, what? But people will try to shame you about it, and don't let them, because everyone deserves blessings. You don't question where they come from. That's universe, ancestors being like, here you go, there you go, because you need this card to get around, right? You have a goal. This is what you want to do. So you need this laptop. You need this, you need this book. You need this money for these books. Don't let people talk you out of your blessings. You could really get into a space of questioning why your life is going not even well, but why you're so protected. Like, because you could get into a lot of shit. It depends on what your chart is. Like, you could have a very crazy chart, but for some reason you're always protected. For some reason you're always good. You're always looked out for, whether it's food on your table, roof over your head, whether it's a situation with the cops and you got out of that shit. Sly, like it didn't, you're always been protected. So just understand that's where your protection is. You have a lot of ancestors protecting you, and especially during that transit, take the protection. Don't fight the protection. Take the blessings, don't fight the blessings. So I hope that helped you guys. I'm gonna get off now and start my day and do my thing, because I feel like, okay, good, I did my astrology. It's 12 o'clock. I put up a video for you guys. I feel productive doing that. Now I can go the rest of my day just doing whatever I want to do. Send your friends this video. Thank you, anybody who puts the timestamps below for whatever the topics are. You can put the timestamps and blah, blah, blah. Santana over here, he got transformed. Baby. A lot of people come in and they be doubting me. But I'm telling you, man, I have Gemini in the 12th, so I study incessantly. I study so much, and I'm just endlessly curious, which is a good and a bad thing. I'm going to talk about gifts of the 12th house in another video. I have a surprise coming up for you guys soon. I have Pisces on the midheaven, so I just do it when I feel it's right. It's all about feeling it out. So I've just been, going through the motions and just letting my body and my energy, my experiences take me where I need to be taken, because I have Jupiter in the 10th. So it's like I have to literally travel for work, but I have to let myself travel, like even astro travel, dream travel, and just let myself kind of be malleable, stuff like that. I'm going to have another astrology class this year for sure. If you didn't get my first one, it's on gardenofconsciousness.com. I have a Patreon called Novi's Notes, www.patreon.com/Novi's Notes. That's where I put my personal notes, a lot of my resources, and I put my resources on my YouTube too. I shout out, all the people that I study from, because I have a ton, I think I'm 100 and something books at this point. I have so many books, and I watch so many people on YouTube, and then I just mash it up in my own language, and I'm so inspired by how everybody else interprets things, and I was like, oh, my interpretation is strong. I feel connected to this, and that's why you can't second guess yourself. When you have the 12th house, you have those gifts very innately, if it makes sense. Even if you double guess yourself, you can really shame yourself out of that. Whatever is in the 12th house, we feel this weird guilt and shame around, and feel like we have to sacrifice that part of ourselves. We feel like we have to sacrifice that part of ourselves. So you can go back and listen to it for each of the signs, but we feel like we have to sacrifice a part of ourselves so that we can be accepted in society. So it can become a very dangerous thing, because it's your gift, and it's the thing that you're supposed to give out to the world. It's the way that you dream. It's the way that you manifest. It's the way that you communicate with spirit, and without communicating with spirit, you cannot manifest in the real world anyway. So it's almost like it's like a reverse psychology thing the whole time. So you really have to honor your 12th house, and honor the energy that's in there, and find a platform or a space or an avenue for it to be in. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.